Stallworth, AtlTrafficLady. You're watching HowWeFlow.Today-TV. How are ya? It is Monday, November 18th, 2024, 11 a.m. is when we're going live for you here today. Going live, going live. Usually go with pre-recorded. Decide to flip the switch a little bit and go a little live, go a little live, go a little live. What is going on with ya? Today's video is called It's Time to Activate Your Faith. Restoration is here. And it's not too late with Stephanie Stallworth, your ATL traffic lady on HowWeFlow.Today-TV. Hey, hi, how are ya? I hope and pray all is well, all is calm, all is bright over here. Listen, Linda, we got to get some things straightened out. Got to get it straight. Nothing needs straightening but straightening. Nothing needs straightening but straightening, amigo said. Straightening. You got to straighten some things out, right? I'm praying for you. Praying for you, as are many others praying for you, even now in this moment, okay? And God is still sovereign. He's still on the throne. Can't nobody stop what God is doing in your life. Y'all got to know that, right? And so it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how it looks. Doesn't matter about any of that. No one can stop what God's will is for anyone's life. They can slow it down, but they surely cannot stop it, and it will come to pass. So again, this video is called It's Time to Activate Your Faith. Restoration is here. It's not too late. It's too late. No, it's not too late. It feels like it's too late. You could have done it earlier than now, but hey, we're here now. So let's call it not too late and go ahead and activate your faith. And it's time for restoration. Restoration. I do declare. There's so much going on. God is calling you, calling you out of that situation today. I'm with him calling you out of that thing today. You knew what you were supposed to do. You knew you should have, treated your gift better instead of handling them in a old clunky, grind out way with heavy betrayal, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, we won't focus on that because you already know what it was, right? But we're always here trying to get better in How We Flow Out Today community. We're always working on healing ourselves, getting better, leveling up, getting out of the kiddie pool, and getting out into our true divine destiny. We're focusing on health care, wellness, the art of well-being, personal development, everything to get you to your dream life. And your dream life is the life you don't need to take a vacation from. And that would be the God destined life for you. What did God create for you when he created you? He said, my plans for this individual are these, right? And so when you follow the creator's plans, then you're living a God's will life, which would be a dream life that you don't need to take a vacation from because you're doing it the way the manufacturer, the way our creator intended for you to do it. And so you can't go wrong doing that, right? So when God gives you a gift on a silver platter, then know it's God's gift to you and go ahead and take the gift and receive it and cherish it and treasure it, right? And don't do things against your own self to keep you from really receiving that gift fully. And that's where the healing part comes in, because sometimes through conditioning, trauma, toxic, whatever, we end up self-sabotaging and either believing we're not worthy of it because of what we've been told about ourselves, or that we don't deserve it, or that can't be for me, or I'm going to mess it up, or whatever. But if God gives you something, God already knows what you're capable of and not capable of, but he also knows that you can handle what it is that he gives you. He'll never give you something you can't handle, right? So in knowing that, then it's time to move forward. God is calling you out of that thing today. I'm with him calling you out of that today. You know what you were supposed to do. You knew what you're supposed to do. I'm going to hit a little bit on the New Birth Sunday service with Bishop Randy Borders was in for Pastor Jamal Bryant on Sunday. And oh man, it was so on point. He talked about a lot of things that kind of line up with this message here too. So I'll share a little bit of that as we move forward. But again, I'm praying for you, as are many others, and I'm believing God that you can come up out of that thing. You know, we all make mistakes. Sometimes we make bigger ones than others, louder ones than others, more visible ones than others, public ones, you know, and you feel like it's hard to come back from that, but you can always come back from it. All right. So never believe that it's too late, because it's never too late. Not with God. God on your side, it's never too late. God, I'm turning back to what you said. Please make a way for me to turn back to what you said, and he will. I always say on these How We Flow Out Today TV series, I believe God. Whose report will you believe? I believe the report of the Lord, honey. I believe God and what he said, not what people said, not what people do, not what it looks like. If God called a thing to be, it's going to be, right? So it's never too late to turn around and run into what God called for you to have, okay? So remember that as we're going into this video, because there's some stuff that went on in a lot of people's lives, including yours, that will make you kind of stay in a lower level type of mindset and thinking. It's like you're always going to be in a kiddie pool where you don't belong unless you complete your healing, unless you speak your truth, unless you leave your ego behind, unless you leave your pride behind, unless you leave your fear behind. You're going to always be in that lower level kiddie pool. You know, I always say what's in the kiddie pool. The kiddos are in the pool. There's no chlorine, and whatever they, send out of their body still isn't mixed in with the water in the kiddie pool. And that's where you've been. And I don't want you to have to still be there, right? Because you belong in the deep end. Let's launch out into the deep, and it's safe for you because that's where God created you to be, not at that other kiddie pool level. So we got to work on completing our healing. Got to work on being confident in speaking our truth, not hiding our feelings, emotions, and what really matters to us for the betterment of others and to the detriment of ourselves, right? It doesn't mean you can't help better others, but you don't need to do it at your own detriment, right? Right. We need to leave that ego behind. Well, I'm doing what I'm doing, so I don't want to have to admit that I was wrong. Leave that pride behind. I don't want to have to admit that I didn't get it right. I made a mistake. Admit you made a mistake and move on, right? And God can forgive you so easily, and so can anybody else, right? But you just have to come into that space and say, okay, wow, I really blew that. It didn't go like I thought it was going to, and I didn't get what I thought I was going to get out of it. I turned around and look at him like, oh my gosh, who is this? What is this I have here? Oh my gosh, I'm stuck forever. And you're not stuck forever. Turn around. Don't drown. What they say when the roads start flooding. Turn around, don't drown. You don't know how deep that water is. And if you didn't do the healing, you can't swim, and you will be swept away, taken under. And we don't want that for you, right? We don't want that for ourselves. So unless you complete your healing, which you're going to do, you've been in the process. Why stop now? You're almost home. You're almost there with the healing, baby. I'm telling you. Unless you leave your ego and your pride behind and admit I was wrong. Say it with me. I was wrong. Some people can't say they were wrong. Some people will never say they're wrong. That's the other thing. And I don't want you all to be people like that and will never admit they're wrong. You were so sure in your mind of what it was. And then you find out later you were wrong about it. And you made a mistake. But you still want to stand on your pride and ego. Well, I'm never going to tell you I was wrong because I said what I said. But what you said was wrong. What you did was wrong. So it's okay to admit it. I mean, in the spirit of authenticity, right? I teach public communications, speech communication, public speaking at the college level. And we talk about the HAIL method. HAIL. You speak with honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love. Honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Look, if I'm wrong about all this, I'm going to have to say, wow, I was wrong. And it'd be a hard pill to swallow, but I'm going to have to swallow it, right? but I'm not wrong about this. At least I don't think so. But in my inner knowing, I am not wrong. On the surface, it might look like it because of how things are turning out, but I know what God said. And so I believe God. But you got to say, I was wrong, honest, authentic, have integrity, and speak the truth in love. I always tell you, I speak the truth in love. I'm not fussing. I'm not upset. I'm just here speaking the truth in love and in a loving way, trying to help guide you back to where God would have you, right? And that's the purpose of these videos, right? That's the purpose of the community. So, excuse me, we are the How We Flow Today community. You can join us on IG at HowWeFlow.Today. You can check out the HowWeFlow.Today-TV network on the Flow streaming service at HowWeFlow.Today. That's period today instead of .com. It's .today, HowWeFlow.Today. It'll take you right to the HowWeFlow.Today-TV network on the Flow streaming service. And yeah, that's something you got to do. Also, the Flow streaming service found at theflowtelevision.com. We can see all the networks that are on there and all the programming on all that. That's the streaming service God allowed me to start during the pandemic. And we've been going steadily ever since. So since 2021, so a little over 3 years since we launched. And we're on Roku, Fire TV, we're on Apple TV, iOS app, Android app. We got the Google podcast. We got the YouTube podcast. We got the Hey Google or Hey Siri or Echo or whatever those other smart device things are, right? We got the web app at theflowtelevision.com and so much more, right? So you could have your programs on your own network on the Flow streaming service. So just hit me up at theflowtelevision@gmail.com or hit me up on IG at theflowtelevision.com. That's DOTCOM, spelling out. The Flow Television, DOTCOM. Hit me up on the DM there. And I'm happy to discuss with you how to get your programming on the flow. You're in the flow. You're in the flow. All right. That's our this update brought to you by the Flow streaming service at theflowtelevision.com. And also brought to you by HowWeFlow.Today TV network at HowWeFlow.Today. And so much more, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. What? Got so much great content on there. Yes, I'll share more about that later. We got to get back into this message because I got to get on off of here. Got some other things to accomplish today on a Monday. Got to get in on a Monday, right? So again, you're always going to be in that kiddie pool where you don't belong unless you complete your healing, unless you speak your truth, unless you leave your ego behind, leave your pride behind. I was wrong. Practice saying it in the mirror 20 times a day. Leave your fear behind. I'm too scared to do it. What if this and what if? You never know. It makes me feel vulnerable. It gives me uncomfortable feelings. Sometimes we got to do it uncomfortable. Sometimes we got to do it scared. If God said to do it, you got to do it, whether you're scared or whether you're bold or somewhere in between. What God said is what I must do. All right, God said to do it. I'm trusting you, God. I'm walking out here and trust you. I'm going to call them. I'm going to text them. I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to tell them how I really feel and trust God. And the rest is going to be gravy, baby. It's going to be gravy. So doing all of that, leaving the ego, leaving the pride behind, leaving the fear behind, and stop listening to everyone else except God and yourself. Everyone else's opinion of you is none of your business. Other people's opinion of you, none of your business. That's none of your business, their opinion. Me, I'm only worried about God's opinion of me and my opinion of myself. Am I who I say I am? Am I who I say I am? My dad always says it. To ask ourselves, are you who you say you are? And he asks himself, is he who he says he is? And if I am who I say I am, then my opinion of me is going to be fine. If I'm not who I say I am, my opinion of me is going to be a little bit skewed, right? Because I'm going to be, no, I'm living a false life. I'm living a lie. I'm living an illusion, right? And we want to be authentic. The HAIL method, honesty, authenticity, integrity. We want to be doing and living our life with integrity and with love, right? And an honest life, authentic life, a life with integrity, a life leading with love, right? And that's the goal. That's the goal. So stop listening to everyone except God and yourself. If not, if you don't stop that, you permanently lose a relationship given to you as a gift from the Lord. Permanently. You still can have what you were given even now if you level up, right? So start the level up process. Stop listening to other people and go with what God said. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in that dog and pony show 3-ring circus that you started in your brokenness. We all have an area of brokenness. If you start things in your brokenness, they're going to be broken things. If you start things in your healed place, they will be healed things. But you started this in your brokenness, and it's going to always be keeping you stuck in that dog and pony show 3-ring circus that was started from a broken space. Your God-gifted person was sent to help you heal. Did you know that? The person God handed to you right in front of you that day, 11:20, coming up on 11:20, is sent here to help you heal, but because you didn't make the move to fully connect, too many games, too much self-sabotage, no, no or little faith in what God said to you. It keeps you from what is yours. God said this is yours, right? So I say all this to say it's time. It's time to bridge the gap, baby. It's time to right the ship. Come on now. We're going to hear from Bishop Randy Borders speaking at New Birth here pretty soon, talking about going on ahead and reset, right? Got to push forward into what God said. He said it had a seal on it, what he told you. It had a seal on it. We're going to talk about that. In our broken space, sometimes you're not in touch with your feelings. And if you're not in touch with your feelings, when you feel real feelings, like let's say you try to control your feelings so you never show them to anybody. I'm going to keep these controlled so I don't get hurt. So I'm going to show indifference all the time. I'm never going to be interested in any loving relationship or showing my vulnerability or how I, the true person that I really am, because I've been hurt before. And I don't want to be hurt again. So everyone that comes up to you, giving you loving, kind wonderfulness, you suspect them of it being a setup to hurt you later. And then when God gave you the one true and perfect gift for you, you suspected them of being a setup to hurt you later. So you blocked them out, right? And that's not being in touch with your feelings. It's being addicted to or really comfortable sitting in your toxicity or your trauma or your unhealed brokenness, right? So much so that you don't believe in yourself. You couldn't even see sometimes a God-given gift as a gift, but again, as a false person and all of that. And sometimes, even if you didn't see your God-given person as a false person, there are other false people out here that will trick you into losing your person, making you believe that they were sent there to hurt you, even though you didn't believe it. They made you believe it. They tricked you into losing your person. But again, you can turn that thing around. It's not too late. It's time to activate your faith. Restoration is here. It's not too late. So now you're in union with the truly false person in a fake connection, right? That happens. That happens when we're not in touch with our feelings, and then we just go along to get along, and we believe what everybody says. And some people are so believable. I mean, they are so manipulative that if you got tricked by them, it would be no shame because they're so good at what they do at manipulating people, right? So I don't want you to feel shame. I just want you to know that you're in it and to get out, right? So it's like you're in that fake connection. And then once it became an official fake connection, you're like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Who is this person? I can't really stand them. I don't even want them. Oh no, where's my real person, right? So now you got to watch your real person in a great place, and you should be there in abundance with them, but since you pushed them away, now you find yourself a product of your chosen environment, not the God-given environment, one you chose, right? It's one you chose. I saw Pastor John Gray or something um, on Instagram about something you made. Something about don't invite me to something you made yourself. Where's you need to invite me to the thing that God created for you, yeah, but don't invite me to the thing you created yourself because that's not even of God, right? So you find yourself in as a product of your chosen environment. You find out that your true feelings are eating you alive because you haven't expressed them. And they only get stronger. The more you suppress, the stronger they get. They're ready to bust right out your throat, right? And this is why it's so important. It's so important. It's so important for us to heal. You know, you miss out on what is yours because you didn't do all of the healing work. And I'm not saying you didn't heal. I'm saying you didn't complete the full healing cycle. You're so close. I said it earlier. You are right. I want to say this. You're right. Excuse me. At the walkway to the house. You're on the sidewalk, and then there's a little walkway up to the front door. You're on the sidewalk at the walkway to the house where you belong in, to home, and you're so close, but you won't walk up the walkway to the door. That's all you got to do, right? That's all you got to do. And sometimes it's hard to do that because you're like, oh my gosh, what if this, what if that? Well, what if this, what if that? Let's find out. And I always say you rule it in or rule it out. Rule people in, rule people out. Rule things in, rule things out. But you can't find out if you never go do anything with it. You never discover what's going on with it. You never discover if it's for you, if you never check it out, right? So again, I'm trying to help you. I'm not fussing. If you're not in touch with your feelings, if you're addicted to or comfortable sitting in your toxicity space or your trauma so much that you don't believe in yourself or don't believe could be for you, couldn't see a God-given gift as a gift, but see it as a false person, you're tricked into losing your person, believing they were there to hurt you, or someone tricked you into believing that. And now you're in union with a truly false person, in a fake connection that you don't even want to be in, but you settle for it, comfortable settling in toxicity and trauma. Now you have to watch a real person in a great place, and you should be there in abundance with them. But you push them away, find yourself a product of your chosen environment, and you got to heal. Don't miss out on what's yours because you didn't do all the work. That's where we left it off with, right? So all the work is the healing work. You're at the sidewalk. You're right at home. You're home. You just didn't walk up the walkway from the sidewalk to the door. That's all you got to do, right? That's really all you have to do, baby. That's all you got to do. So, sometimes we got to deal with false people. There's a lot of false people out there. You're not one of them if you're speaking and dealing through life and with people in the HAIL method with honesty, authenticity, integrity, and love. There are people who are dealing with people with dishonesty, fakeness. They're inauthentic and with hatred in their heart. There's a fake person stealing others' ideas, stealing your person's ideas as their own, saying they're your own, saying your real person was copying them when really they were copying your person, right? Everything about this person is fake. It's false. It's a mask. And guess what? They fooled the throngs of the people at their feet, worshiping that false persona. And they're so good at it. It's like narcissistic type stuff. The fake person is so good at the fake appearing real that no one will believe they're capable of the dastardly deeds that they do. No one would believe it. Oh no, they're so sweet. They're so nice. Yeah, all of that, right? Oh, I love them because they're so wonderful. but they are literally the opposite of that, wolf in sheep's clothing. Their mask is falling off, it keeps glitching, and you can see glimpses of who they are. They really just want power and control over you. And they have achieved what they wanted. So they can have access to continue to climb off of you and continue to, raise themselves up off of you. They never want to do their own work. They just want to go off of your work. And that's not the kind of person that God would have sent you to be attached to you. You know what I mean? So if I found myself in that situation, I'll be like, look, you tricked me once, but I ain't gonna be tricked no more. And while we were away on this trip here, I had someone packing up all their stuff and moving it right on out. And I had them papers to sign on a standby as soon as they get back. Right? They need to be looked at. They need to go get some help. They need to be evaluated, help out of this brokenness. They just bleeding on people in all of their hurt space, right? They need some healing. They got so many people involved in the wretchedness they were doing against your person and against you. But God is sovereign. So all rumors about your person being fake and all those things they made up, they were actually what the copycat false person is. They projected their own persona, or their own real persona, onto your real person, as if your real person were the villain in this. And it's so not true. God wouldn't give you what was a villain. He would never give you a villain, right? So, and you know it. What do you know in your inner knowing about your person, yourself, your own experience? Not what people said, not what people made up. What do you know about them, right? What is your experience with them? And you should know better than what the people are saying, right? And so they've employed all of these people, so many people involved, so many people to continue the wrongdoing, the rumor mongering about a perfectly innocent individual who really had nothing to do with any of this mess and even involved in this mess. They just doing what God said. I'm just out here trusting God, they say, right? So that's like me. I'm out here trusting God. Happiness haters, destiny swappers, be doggone. They have been or will soon be found out and then driven out. Fake person, fake everything, right? All of that is going to be gone. God's not going to allow it. Again, you can't stop God's will for anybody's life. You can manipulate it, you can slow it down, but you can't stop it. And it will be done. God's will be done. So for anyone out here who's been taken advantage of in this way, I'm here to give you some hope that God's will for your life will be done. Don't matter how it looks, don't matter how deep you're in it, no matter how much mess you're in, no matter how much your decisions were not to your benefit, but to your detriment. Call out to God. Say, Lord, I still want what you have for me. I made a mistake. I was wrong. I was wrong. Say it out loud. I was wrong. I was wrong. Forgive me, Lord. I was wrong. I repent. Forgive me. Please. Whatever you're doing in this season, don't do it without me, Lord. I don't want to mess this up, Lord. Please don't let me mess this up. It's the biggest blessing of my life, Lord. Please don't let me mess this up. Please don't let me mess this up, Lord. Please guide me. Order my steps. I surrender. I surrender all to you. I'm walking your way, Lord. I'm available to you. I'm available to you. Use me, Lord. I'm tired of doing it myself. I see where I keep getting myself in the same old mess. I can't do it anymore. I keep thinking I can do it in my own strength, and I can't. These are things we're saying, right? So, and if you're not saying it, you might want to say it and see how God can lead you out of this mess. He could cut the threads that got you wrapped up so tight. Cut the web of intrigue that the person has created around you, or the people, right? Cut the people you trusted so much, but yet they were there to stab you in the back the whole time or take over right? Yeah. These are the kind of people that would thwart your destiny at all costs. They know what your destiny is. They were hoping you didn't. So they're gonna talk you out of it every time you try to go towards your destiny. They wanna talk you out of it. "Nah, are you sure you wanna do that? I don't think that's for you. Nah, you don't want them. No, that would be this. That would be a downgrade. That would be this and that." But your destiny is different than what the cookie cutter destiny is. You're not a cookie cutter person. You're a groundbreaker. You're gonna change the game on how people look at things in relationships and how they approach these things, not with fake false persona and a front and what it's supposed to look like. It's what's supposed to feel like. What does it feel like? Because you could look 1,000% beautiful on the cover of magazines and whatever, and inside be as fake and phony and empty as can be. I talked about that. Is that bunny solid or hollow in one of my previous videos? You know, them big bunnies they have around Easter, super big chocolate bunnies. And we always wanted the big one. Oh, let's try the big one. And you get the big one and you bite the ear and it's hollow. Like, that just feels empty. Ugh, I don't even like that. I'd rather get a small solid one because I know I'm feeling something when I'm biting into that thing, you know? But these kind of people will thwart your destiny at all costs. They know your destiny, and they know if you go for your destiny, they will be kicked to the curb. They will be drop kicked immediately, and then they will have no more access to you and what you offer. Not that they want you. They want what access and proximity to you provide them. Look back at the history. Look what it's provided them. They got a whole level up. Did you get a level up being with them? No. But they got a whole level up being with you. Whether it's cosmetic, whether it's in their career space, whatever it is, they leveled up and you getting chipped away at all day while they take power and control over you, abuse you, right? I know what goes on behind closed doors. I see it. I know it. I tell you, I live that thing. I know what that thing looks like. It's not cute. It's not pretty. And it's something you wouldn't want to admit to anybody. That's why you stay. One of the reasons why you stay. Another reason why you stay is comfortable in the dysfunction. Well, I'm used to it. That's just how they are. Well, how they are is abusive. That's just how they are. How they are is abusive. I'll say it again. Yeah, that's just how they are, but how they are is abusive. Why would you have to sit in that? God didn't create you to sit in that. So we got to think more for ourselves than what we do. And it's a process, but you got to come up out of it, or it will chip away at you until you're worn down to the nub and there's nothing left of you. And they've got full power, full control over you. Again, I always say, Google the power and control wheel. Google the power and control wheel, right? When you Google the power and control wheel, you'll see all of these ways these people are trying to control you so that they can steal your destiny, your God-given destiny. God created you for something and they don't want you to have it. Yet they say they serve the same God you do. Where does that make sense? It doesn't. It makes sense in the enemy's camp, but it don't make sense in God's camp. Come on now. We already know these things. So they'll thwart your destiny at all costs, because if you get your destiny, they out. It's a very distorted energy they have. It's tons and tons of lies. It's abuse of power in their leadership role. Their attention seeking, clout climbing, hidden agendas, backstabbing, betrayal of you. It's a web of lies. It's been going on for years now that they've been casting about your person. Since about about 2 years ago, November 2022, right before Thanksgiving. Exactly. There was a meeting at your place of business where your person was, and trying to be a part of one of the groups inside of your organization, and they became part of that organization. Did 2 separate things for them, and all was well. But in the initial meeting with the people there, your friend sent them in there. Yeah, go in there. And then the person in charge of that organization at the time, who's no longer there, they said, "Oh, this is royalty." They're saying about your person. This is royalty, your real person. This is royalty. This is royalty. Yes, yes, this and that. Yeah, we definitely got to get you to do so and so. And they got me to do so and so. But not long after that, during that same meeting, here comes your false person into the room to see who's this person that's supposed to be royalty. That's supposed to be me. And they come in cackling and laughing, doing what they do. And then after that, everything changed. Everything went away. And there were no more opportunities because they abused their leadership role in order to thwart your destiny and your destined person. This is what goes on. This has been going on for years. I don't know if you know it or not, but this has been going on for years. Be somebody specific here. This has been going on for years. So these are things you need to know. I'm happy to explain it all to you. Just reach out and we can talk. There's a lot to talk about. I got a lot to show, a lot to share. And I love to hear what you know also. So we put this whole thing together, lay out the timeline, and understand with clarity and specificity what really went on. Then you'll understand why you got to where you got to under the power and control of dastardly deed doer. This is royalty, right? And they're like, royalty? Let me see who this royalty is. Oh, no. Cackle, cackle, cackle. You know who cackles. Anyway, several years, web of lies about your person. They just started to spin this web. All the lies they spun were really what they were doing. They were money hungry, using what they got, their body to get what they want, whatever else they got to get what they want, use of all kinds of things. And the lies they told are huge, so much that people are now looking at your person, your real person, like she's something wrong with her to this day. And you were supposed to protect your person, not let them get caught up in that mess. They're perfectly innocent. Your person's perfectly innocent. None the wiser about none of this until people start turning on them that way, looking at them a certain way. And things were never the same because of the poison that was put into the water, right? Because of the cackler. And these are really everything they said that your person was doing is all the things that they were. They were out there with other people. They were out there, using spell work and witchcraft or getting people to do it. They were out there manipulating. They were out there lying. They were out there thwarting your destiny, not your real person. Your real person would never do that. God wouldn't send you a person who would do that. Now, the enemy would use people to thwart your destiny because that's what the enemy does. So whether your cackler brought their self in to thwart your destiny or the enemy sent them to thwart your destiny, that was the purpose. Or I think it's the former, not the latter. I think they did it because that's what they possess. That's the energy they possess. And you know it. I think you know it behind closed doors. You better admit that thing in public and then be done. That's the only way you're going to get free. I lived it. I know it. You got to get free. I mean, you're already free, but in your mind, you're not free. That's why you're still there. The web of lies for several years and, huge lies. And here's the thing. Your false person, the one that got you caught up in this thing, no one will believe that this person is so fake, so capable of doing such dastardly deeds, as I call them. They seem so sweet. They're just so nice. They couldn't have done that. I know that your real person really did those things, not this fake person, but they don't realize they're fake. They're all snuck up underneath them, following up underneath this fake person, believing that they're real because they need to win a doggone Oscar for Best Actress in a dastardly deed, witchcraft, spelling, manipulation, power and control role, because that's what they did. Okay. And that's why you're where you are today. Because you're looking around sometimes like, how the heck did I get here? Wait, that's not where I wanted to be. I'm trying to be over there. What happened? That's how, because they're that good. All right. They're in the wrong profession. But no one will believe that they're capable of that. Or my spouse, no one would believe they were capable of my ex-spouse. People were capable. No one believed that they were capable of doing these things that they were doing behind closed doors at the house, right? Oh no, them? Oh, they wouldn't be. They're not like that. They're so nice. They're so this. They're so that. I know this thing. I'm not speaking out of nowhere. That's some narcissistic type stuff, right? Where no one would believe that they're capable of it because the persona they project is so good. But you, their supply, the narc supply, you know what it is. No matter how many times you try to say what they do, no one's going to believe you. But you still got to speak your truth. That's the only way out. That's the only way out. No one would think that they're capable of it. No one would believe it. And I got to say, again, people, whether it's you, well, it is you and anyone else around them who believes them, this false person, you'll start to feel foolish, right? You start to feel foolish. And they're going to start to realize that the real person really wasn't what the false person said they were. No one believed. No one who believed, really, I should say, no one who believed, because everyone believed what they said, but no one who believed that liar should be embarrassed. No one who believed them should be embarrassed. If you believed this false person who did the dastardly deeds against your destiny, you believe them, don't be embarrassed. They are a master manipulator. They could fool almost anyone with their charm. I mean, I could see it from the door because I see those things. But they could fool practically anyone. And they did, right? And they did. So don't feel embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I believe them. Oh, I feel so embarrassed. I feel ashamed. I can't even admit that I believed them, but I did. Don't be embarrassed. Just apologize to the person that was wronged. But the one who did the wrong, they got to face their consequences and repercussions for being a master manipulator. And that's their MO. They've done it time and time again. You're just the latest supply, latest victim. Look back in their history, this pattern. So they could fool almost anyone with all of that charm and fake stuff. So if they use witchcraft, spell work, etc., had someone to do it, magic, etc., all that stuff's going to be turned around, headed back their way. Once the truth is revealed, if it's not already revealed, that their agenda was to have power and control, right? To put you against your real person. They want to have power and control over you and everything you have, and get a level up and a come up off of you. Keep you from your divine destiny so that they can still stay in the picture, and put you against your real person and make you think your real person was the one harming you instead of them, and trap you in the process and let them puppet you and own you for life. Then they won if you allow it to stay like that. It might look like they won right now, but again, the title of this video is time to activate your faith. Restoration is here. It's not too late. With Stephanie Stallworth, AtlTrafficLady, HowWeFlow.Today-TV. That's what we're doing. Yeah, they're puppeting you and owning you and deciding what you do and say and who you talk to and who you don't talk to, blocking people from your real person from even be able to contact you or come in any contact, close, far, anything, socials, any mails, emails, phone calls, whatever. All that's blocked so they can control the narrative, because they know if you hear from your real person, you'll understand the truth. So I speak the truth in love right here. And I hope that whoever needs to hear this is able to hear it. Hope the real person I'm speaking to here can hear it, and anyone else who's going to learn from this can hear it. Okay. And you know, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. I'm praying for you, as are many others. They don't want to see you in this energy. They don't want to see you in this trapped up space. They don't want to see you being taken advantage of. They don't want to see you with a false person living a false life in a fake relationship where you're not even happy. Again, they did this pulling out all stops, any and all costs. Whatever it takes, I'm going to be in this position. I don't care what it takes. I don't care who I hurt. I don't care who I harm. I don't care who I lie on. I don't care who I manipulate. I don't care who I knock down. Part of your leadership team they knocked out because they didn't care. Anyone who's coming against them, they're going to push them out so they can continue their dastardly deeds of duty to evil and to power and to control. And I know they look so cute. I know they look so lovely. I know they're so sweet, but they learned what you like. They learn how to get to you over this period of time. It's the long game. They can learn whatever it takes to get you to trust them enough to let them in and stay in. That's it. That's it. That's why they push your buttons, because they know you well enough to know exactly what you like, exactly how you like to be spoken to, exactly how you like to be treated, and all that stuff. And that's enough to get you in. And then they pull it and start treating you badly because they got you in. And then as soon as you try to rally against the bad treatment, then they say, oh no, I did it. And they're back in the sweetness. It's a push-pull. It's how it goes. It's how they manipulate. It's how they operate. I've seen it. I know it. It's a whole narc thing. It's a whole narcissistic thing. It's a whole thing. Even if it's not narcissism, it is still total manipulation. It's emotional abuse, right? Might be some physical abuse. They might threaten you. They might do all kinds of things. Again, Google Power and Control Wheel, see all the things they could do. They control who you talk to, control who you see, control who your friends are, control what you do, control what you say. Oh, well, let me say this before they answer. That's all the time. Don't say anything before I answer. Let me answer for myself. Well, let me say this, and then they set the stage for how you're going to need to answer. Someone asks you a question. Let me say this before they answer. No, don't say anything. Let me answer. Then you just sit there because, they're all, overbearing. And if you were surrounded by overbearing your life, you're going to be used to sitting back. I understand that. I know what that is. I used to sit back all the time. Oh, well, let them do what they're going to do. Let them say what they're going to say. And then you never speak your truth. You never speak your piece. You never feel heard. You never feel understood. You feel undervalued, but they keep heaping the love on you, love bombing you. So you still, oh, they love me though. All right, I guess they're for my better good. And they're not. They're here to tear you apart, tear you down, break you down bit by bit until they conquer you. And then you're just their puppet. And God didn't create you to be anybody's puppet. So I'm going to need you to come on up out of there. Again, God is calling you into your greatness, right? God is calling you out of that today. I'm with God calling you out of that today. Let's go. Come on. We got to go. I believe God on all of this, all of this, all of this, and all of this. I got this little bit of Bishop Randy Borders at New Birth on Sunday I want to share with you guys. The transcript is on the side here, if you can see that. And then you'll hear what he's saying. But we're going to start 117. Let's see. We're starting right around 117:17. So Jeremiah stood in the face of reason and rationale and said, if God's going to make new life come back to the field, if God's going to do it, I got to begin now to walk by faith and not by sight. I got to act like God's going to do it. I got to change my posture. I've got to change what I'm saying. I got to change. I got to change everything about me, because if God's about to move, then it's going back to the text and he'll go on from there. And there's just so many nuggets of info. I may stop it along the way just to highlight some of them, but It's back to what I was saying in the beginning, and the title of this video. It's time to activate your faith. Restoration is here. He talks about restoration. It's not too late. And he says something about when God gave you what he gave you and told you what he wanted you to do, and you agreed to it, he sealed it. And then he talks about another copy of it that was unsealed, that got messed up because things got spilled on it, and, it went a different way, which is where we are today. It went a different way than what God said for you to do and what you agreed to do with God, for God. And then it went a different way. But he talks about how the copy that's unsealed might be all messed up, might got, a little bit awry, and things went not the way they're supposed to go. But the original sealed copy is still there. And let's go back to that. So let's hear some Bishop Randy Borders at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church this past Sunday, November 17th, 2024. He was on it, boy. He was on it. Here we go.
So Jeremiah stood in the face of reason and rationale and said, if God's going to make new life come back to the field, if God's going to do it, I got to begin now to walk by faith and not by sight. I got to act like God's going to do it. I got to change my posture. I've got to change what I'm saying. I've got to change everything about me because of God's about to move. Let's go to the text. Let's look at verse number 8. He says, so Hanamel, my uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, by thy field that I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin. So he tells him, he said, listen, this is what I need you to do. I need you to buy the field. But here it is, the Bible says that his cousin comes to him. Hanamel, my uncle's son. Well, if that's his uncle's son, that makes him his cousin. His cousin comes to him. Is this cousin thing significant? I would submit to you that the cousin thing is significant, because you remember when when Mary comes to Elizabeth, at the salutation of Mary, John leaped in her womb, and John got filled with the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost had not yet been given. It seems to me that his cousin bought it. Is this cousin thing significant? I would tell you that the cousin thing is significant because the whole nation of Israel was built just on first cousins. It was brother children. Is this cousin thing significant? He said, your miracle is coming and your cousins got it. What am I saying? I'm saying don't be too familiar with the person that's sitting next to you, because the next thing that happens for you is not going to happen from the outside. It's going to happen by somebody you know. You don't know whose number is in their phone. You don't know who they know. Your miracle is coming and your cousins got it. Touch your neighbor and say, are you my cousin? You my cousin? Verse number 9, he says, and I bought the field of Hanamel, my uncle's son, Hanamel. Now the name Hanamel means grace. Here it is. Jeremiah is locked up, but Hanamel comes. Who is Hanamel? Grace comes. This grace that comes when you're in your time of confinement. You'll be in your season of, they tried to shut you down, but Hanamel comes. They tried to say it ain't gonna happen for you, but Hanamel comes. So grace comes in this awful time, but it's Hanamel, the son of Shullam. Shullam means violent retribution or violent payback. This is the grace that is birthed out of the violent butt-kicking retribution of God. It's payback grace. I came to tell somebody you're about to get payback grace. You're about to be paid for every night you cried. You're about to be paid for every lie that they told on you. You're about to be paid for the scandal that you had to go through. It is a payback grace. He said,
come on, payback grace. Let's go.
Give me a little bit more monitor. I don't have a lot of voice this morning. So he says this. He says that then he says that he goes to Hanamel. His uncle's son come to him. He said, and I bought the field. And this is crazy. He says, I bought the field. That was at Anathoth. Now this man is in prison. He ain't got no money, but he says, I bought the field. This is crazy. How can you buy the field and you in prison? Y'all got friends. Y'all know you put some money on Pookie's books, but he ain't got enough to buy no land. But Jeremiah says, I bought the field. I didn't preach this passage for years because I didn't understand how could Jeremiah buy the field when he had nothing? How could Jeremiah buy the field when he was in prison? This speaks to us of the supernatural provision of God. I came to tell somebody, you don't see how it's going to happen. You don't see a way that it could be made. But when God tells you it's yours, you need to go ahead and go for it. And when it comes time for the deal to go down, he's going to make the provision. Hallelujah. Somebody say supernatural provision.
Just go for it, baby. And God will make the provision when it's time for the deal to go down. Supernatural provision.
He said, by the field that is in Anathoth. So here it is. Hanamel comes from this place called Anathoth. Hanamel is grace. Grace is dispatched from Anathoth. Anathoth means answered prayers. So grace is dispatched from the place of answered prayer. So before the proposition ever came, it came from a place where the prayers had already been answered. In other words, before the proposition came, the way is already made. The moment you say yes, it's going to set everything in motion. It's because the prayers of your ancestors have already been answered. And God is looking for you to respond to what God had told them. He said, I'm going to do it for your grandchild. They've gone on into glory, but it still got to happen for you. He said, I'm going to do it for your niece and nephew. They've gone on into glory, but it still got to happen for you. Somebody say it's got to happen. So he tells them, here it is. And grace is dispatched from this place called Anathoth, the land of answered prayer. And he says in verse number 10, and I took proof. I took evidence of what was negotiated. It speaks to us that he's talking about a land deal. I took the evidence of what was purchased. So he takes this, he says, I take the evidence that was sealed and the evidence that was open. It seems to me that this is a land deal and the buyer has a copy and the seller has a copy. He says, I got proof that there's a deal. So he goes to him and said, buy the field. He says, yes, I'll buy the field. Ain't got nothing to buy it with, but supernaturally the provision comes. And when the provision comes, God says, let's document it. So they begin to document it. And so he took evidence. He took evidence. What is evidence? Evidence is your faith. I heard Paul or the Hebrew writer say that faith is the substance of things hoped for, and I got faith that it's gonna happen this time. I got faith. It didn't happen last year, but I got faith that it's gonna happen this year. It didn't happen 3 years ago, but I got faith that this time it's gonna happen. I want to tell somebody that it didn't work out the last time, but this time it's gonna work. I want to tell somebody that the last time it fell apart, but this time it's coming together. Touch three.
Last time it fell apart, but this time it's coming together. Come on, touch 3 people, say it's going to work. It's going to work. This time it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work, honey. It didn't happen 3 years ago, but I got faith that this time it's going to happen. Didn't work the last time, but this time it's going to work. Last time fell apart, but this time it's coming together. Let's go.
People around you and say it's going to work this time. It's going to work this time. So he says, I took the evidence of what was purchased, and then he says, I sealed it. Why did he seal it? So there are 2 copies here. There's a sealed copy and an open copy. So when there's a sealed copy, it means I got to.
So here's the sealed copy, open copy. Let's go. Let's hear him talk about that.
It's going to work this time. So he says, I took the evidence of what was purchased, and then he says, I sealed it. Why did he seal it? So there are 2 copies here. There's a sealed copy and an open copy. So when there's a sealed copy, it means I got to put the seal on it so it can't be opened again. Now, when I got an open copy, that's like I start to make a confession. And I said, God told me that I'm going to have a strip mall. So therefore, after I tell you that God says he's going to have a strip mall, that's the open copy. Well, the open copy, when it doesn't happen, I'll say, well, maybe God didn't say that. So God said, so I can make sure that you do what you told me you were going to do, I'm going to seal this. If there's an open copy, you can spill something on it and the letters can be damaged. But when there's a sealed copy, you can't change it. God said there's some things that I told you to do and you said yes to me. We're not going to change what we said we're going to do. I've got the sealed copy. Look at your neighbor and say, there is a sealed copy.
There is a sealed copy, right? He said, God said, there's some things that I told you to do, and you said yes to me. we're not going to change what we said. We're going to do it, right? So let's hear that. And that's what I'm talking about. So we're going to go with what the sealed copy said. It's not too late to turn this thing around. Here we go.
Told me you were going to do, I'm going to seal this. If there's an open copy, when it doesn't happen, I'll say, well, maybe God didn't say that. So God said, so I can make sure that you do what you told me you were going to do, I'm going to seal this. If there's an open copy, you can spill something on it and the letters can be damaged. But when there's a sealed copy, you can't change it. God said there's some things that I told you to do and you said yes to me. We're not going to change what we said we're going to do. I've got the sealed copy. Look at your neighbor and say there is a sealed copy. So in verse number 11, he says, so I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and the custom, and that which was open. So therefore, he took the documents, the open copy and the sealed copy. At least somebody would tamper with it. And I want to tell you that God is a master at sealing things. In Revelation, there is a scroll that has 7 seals, which means it's perfectly sealed. God has some things that's sealed for you. And the reason that God had to seal it is because in your prayer closet, you told God yes, but time has happened and life has happened. And now you don't know if you want to do it or not. But then you got to go back and break open the seal and remind God of what you said when you talked to God in
He said back on the scroll, or back under the seal, God has some things that's sealed for you. And the reason that God had to seal it is because in your prayer closet, you told God yes. I know I told God yes. And I'm here to do it. So we got to all do what we said, right? But time has happened. This makes us change our mind sometimes. Time has happened. Life has happened. And now you don't know if you want to do it or not. But then you got to go back and break open the seal and remind God of what you said when you talk to God in your private time. And I came to tell a few people in the room, and he's going to go on. So let's go back about the seal.
there is a scroll that has 7 seals, which means it's perfectly sealed. God has some things that's sealed for you. And the reason that God had to seal it is because in your prayer closet, you told God yes, but time has happened and life has happened. And now you don't know if you want to do it or not. But then you got to go back and break open the seal and remind God of what you said when you talked to God in your private time. And I came to tell a few people in this room that the deal you made with God still stands. And God said, tell you to buy the field. Don't wait till your situation change. Don't wait till things start to look better. But you got to move now and go.
Don't wait till your situation changes. Don't wait till things start to look better, but you got to move now. And that's what I'm talking about in this video. It's time to activate your faith. That's the title. Restoration is here. It's not too late, but you got to move now. It's got to move now.
Talk to God in your private time. And I came to tell a few people in this room that the deal you made with God still stands. And God said, tell you to buy the field. Don't wait till your situation change. Don't wait till things start to look better, but you got to move now and go with what God says. There are options now. There are possibilities now. Things didn't work out last year, but right now there is a space of grace. There is a narrow opening in the spirit, and you got to step in and seize what belongs to you. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse number 12, it says, and I took the evidence of the purpose of the purchase to Baruch, the son of Neriah, the son of Maaseiah, the son of Hanamel, my uncle's son, and I came in the presence of many witnesses and described the book of the purchase before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. In other words, I had evidence of what I had done. In other words, I said it openly. I want you to stop hiding what you believe God is going to do. And I need you to begin to make an open confession. He said, I said it in front of everybody. And
he said, I want you to stop hiding what you believe God is going to do. Stop hiding it. And I need you to begin to make an open confession in front of everybody. Again, I want you to stop hiding what you believe God is going to do. And I need you to begin to make an open confession. No matter who likes it, they don't have to like it. I said it in front of everybody. All right? That's what we're doing. Let's go.
The prison. In other words, I had evidence of what I had done. In other words, I said it openly. I want you to stop hiding what you believe God is going to do. And I need you to begin to make an open confession. He said, I said it in front of everybody. In other words, I'm not going to take it back. Come on, let me push pause right here. I don't want you to take back anything that you said that God was going to do in this season, because this is a good season for you. And this is a good season for this house. When I tell you this is one of the greatest houses in the nation, and this is the house that has the mouth of a prophet. And the prophet that's in this house speaks not only to this country, but he speaks to the world. And when I tell you that God has joined you to the mouth of an international prophet with an international voice, because God is giving you an international work. And what God has given you is about to bud in this season. What God is giving you is about to blossom in this season. The entrepreneurship in you is about to come forth in this season, because you're tied to a man of God. You're tied to the voice of God. So he said, I took the evidence. In other words, what did I take evidence? I took faith in the name. I took faith in the name of Jesus, and I began to buy. But I like what he said. He said, then I put it in a vessel. I put it in an earthen vessel, that it may continue many days. In other words, I took the agreement that I made with God, and I put it in an earthen vessel. Well, I heard Paul say we have this treasure in earthen vessels. The reason that the enemy could not kill you, and the reason the devil could not stop you, is because there's a word tucked down in your heart. The reason that that thing that tried to work against you did not work is because there is a word that has been spoken over your life. Do I have anybody in the room? Thank you.
Come on now. You know this thing. You know this thing. Let's go.
Anybody in the room that say, I got a word over my life? That's why that train wreck didn't hit you. That's why that car wreck couldn't kill you. It's because he said, I tucked it in the vessel that I might continue. And I came to tell somebody you will continue. I came to tell you that you will not stop and you will not be blocked. So here it is. Here it is. He said,
okay, that train wreck ain't going to kill you. I know it's a slow train wreck, but it ain't going to kill you. Come on up out of that thing. Okay. You will not stop. You will not be blocked. Okay. It's sealed in the earthen vessel. Come on now. So that was just part of the sermon on Sunday, November 17th, 2024, for Bishop Randy Borders, who was preaching while Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant was away. So yeah, you got to go back and check that out. This is on the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church YouTube channel, New Birth MBC. New Birth Cathedral. So search for them on the YouTube or on Facebook also, or on the YouTube, on the New Birth website, newbirth.org. All right. All right. So that's kind of it. That's it. That's the message. That's the video. It's time to activate your faith. Restoration is here. It's not too late. So I'm waiting for you. Okay. I need you to be energized. I need you to be about that life. You ain't never scared. You can't be scared of this. This ain't nothing. Why you be scared to do something that God gave you to do? I wouldn't be scared of that. That's easy. It's the other stuff I'd be scared of. But you ain't never scared. Let go. Where you from? You know. All right now. So I'm all hyped up. What? Let's give God some glory. Yes, Lord. Let's give God some glory for what's about to happen. Right? It might have fallen apart last year, but this year coming together. Let's go. It's not too late. It's not too late. Let's give God a hand clap of praise that it's not too late. He still has the sealed version of what you originally said, what he originally said, what you originally agreed to. That still stands. And that sealed thing in the earthen vessel is why no one can stop God's will for your life. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how trapped you feel you are. I don't care how you feel like you're in a bind. You're going to break out of that thing because you got that original thing that God said that you were going to do, that you agreed to do. in a sealed place in an earthen vessel, and it still stands to this very day. So today, God is calling you out of that thing today, November 18th, 2024. And I'm with it, calling you out of that thing today, November 18th, 2024. November 20th, 2024 is a whole thing of 6 years. It rounds up 6 years now since this thing started. Now, we got to come correct. We got to do what thus saith the Lord, what God said, and what we agreed to do. We got far afoot of that. Ain't casting no blames. Ain't nothing, whatever. Who cares why it happened or how it happened? Things happen. Life happens. But can you get back on track? That's the main thing. That's the main thing. So we're calling you to get back on track today. Calling you to get back on track today. Right? Your destiny awaits. Your destiny awaits. Your destiny awaits. That's it. That's all. That's what we're doing. That's how we're doing this thing. Okay. Love you so, so, so much. And waiting for you. God bless you. I'm praying for you. Y'all pray for me and pray my strength because, I got to hold up the bloodstained banner out here by myself and it's tight on a girl. But I'm getting it done because I still believe God. Do you still believe God? Yes, Lord. Yes, to your will and to your way. Yes, Lord. Yes, I will trust you and obey. Come on. It's not just trusting him. I trust him, but will you obey? And obey. When your spirit speaks to me, Lord, with my whole heart, not just part of me, but my other part of my heart is somewhere else. Nah, pull your whole heart back. Put it back in your chest. And with this whole heart, I'll agree. And my answer and your answer will be yes. You know the rest. Lord, yes, yes. Come on, yes, Lord, yes. And that's it. That's all. That's the message. That's the deal. That's where we are. It's Stephanie Stallworth, AtlTrafficLady. We're out here on HowWeFlow.Today-TV. The name of this video is It's Time to Activate Your Faith. Restoration is here. It's not too late. I'm all hyped up in the middle of the day. Wow. I'm usually so chill, laid back. But oh no, this word got me on Sunday. In fact, I was sobbing through like the whole last 2/3 of the sermon. I'm just sobbing, uncontrollably sobbing because it's speaking to me in such a strong way. I couldn't even watch it because my eyes was closed from sobbing. Like, where your eyelids turned inside out, you cry so hard. It was a beautiful thing because I was being freed from the hands of the enemy. Right, no longer bound. Right, no more chains holding me. Come on now. You got to call these things into existence. Speak things that are not as though they were, because they are, because it's already sealed in the earthen vessel. God already spoke it. You already agreed to it. And let's just go do it, right? That's it. That's it. If you shed any tears through the sermon, you know what I mean if you watched it. Oh my gosh. We were being freed from the hands of the enemy even in that moment. All right. All right, that's it. I can't go on. I'm all hyped up, boy. I'm all hyped up. About to go give God some glory here. But I'm going to let you guys go because I've been on here, over an hour. Listen, love you so much. God bless you. I got to do some things today. I got to teach a class pretty soon also. So I'm going to be busy today. But waiting to hear from you, okay? The time is the time. The time is now. Today. Today. He wants it all today. Was Forever Jones. He wants it all today. So give your all today, right? God wants your all today. It don't matter what it looks like. It don't matter what you're in. No matter what you agreed to. No matter what you tied into. That's not of him. Untie it, or just break out, or cut the laces off, and get your foot out of there. Get yourself out of there. Extricate yourself. Get the jaws of life, honey. Whatever it takes. You got to free yourself because you got a destiny that's waiting for you. And as hard as they was trying to fight you on getting to your destiny, you know it's going to be good. Come on now. You got to know this thing. You got to know this thing, baby. You got to know this thing. All right. That's it. That's all. I got to go. I'm too hyped. I'm too hyped. Yes, Lord. I can't wait, baby. I can't wait. Right? I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear from you. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see how well you're going to do in this sealed deal that you agreed to with the Lord. Oh my gosh, the levels that He's going to take you and your people to are unmatched. All right. So get out of the kiddie pool. Let's launch out into the deep on the faith and strength of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. All right. Love you guys. God bless you. Mwah. Love, hugs, pats, all of that, all of that, all of that. I'm praying for you. Pray for me. Pray my strength. But I feel strong today. I feel strong. I'm all energized. That's what I needed today. I hope this helped you the way I helped my own daggone self. Thank you, Lord, for helping me. I needed a midday energizer boost right here because this is what I need. Now I'm ready to conquer all the stuff I got to conquer today and then just waiting to hear back from you. All right. Love you so much. God bless you. Mwah. Love, hugs, pats, all of that, all of that, all of that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I know I can't sing. I'll see you guys next time. Be safe and reach out. Okay. Waiting to hear from you. All is calm. All is bright. You're at the end of the sidewalk. Let's come on up this walkway and come home, baby. I'll wait for you. Let's go.